let's try the audio. Does it catch anything? It's set on 5. Can you hear anything? Probably not. What do you think is the most important aspect of any vlogging gear? Yesterday when I was editing my video, the street footage was horrible because the traffic is always like this. Lots of trucks, lots of cars, and I watched some YouTube tutorials, and the thing is that you need to set your camera microphone levels as low as possible. So for the lavalier Go, they say you should put it on 1, which I never did, and for these shoot gun microphones, you should put them at most on 5. And right now this microphone is on 5. I tested this indoors. It was very low, but when I boost the volume in Premiere Pro, it doesn't introduce noise. The thing is that these cameras don't have really good preamps, and that means that the camera is boosting the levels. When you put it on 17 like it was yesterday, it boosts the levels from the mic in the camera, and these preamps are not good and they introduce a lot of noise. So now I will boost the levels in process and see does it catch any of this heavy traffic. This traffic is very noisy. I mean, I can barely see my greens going through half in the apartment, but here they're just through the roof. So let's see what happens. This is another test for the mic with the mask. Is it going to register anything when I talk and with my mask on? I have no idea. At least autofocus is good. It's on my eye. So here's the deal. I need to buy a new microphone. I want the microphone with the battery inside, because if I push this microphone too far, it introduces a lot of noise. And if I lower the preamps in the camera, I need to do a lot of processing in the Adobe Audition. I don't like any of these. And I don't like this room because it's extremely echoey, but so far that's the best room I can get. Not the best timing to shoot a talking head. That's just it. There is not a single day in China that I didn't hear this sound. I swear to God, not a single day. I still couldn't find the perfect preamp settings for this camera. Some say you should put it on 5. On 5 it's too low for this microphone. When I put it on 10, I introduce a lot of noise. So ever since I've started this channel, I've been having issues with mics. With one mic especially, Rode Video Micro. So this whole day I've been obsessed with buying a new mic. I have one perfectly fine mic, not this one. I have Rode Wireless Go, but I don't see that as a vlogging mic. When I look at vlogs, and this channel is basically vlogging channel with some tutorials. When I think about vlogging is you press the button and you record. So this might sound ridiculous, like
What's wrong with Rode Wireless Go? It's perfectly good microphone. It has great sound, it has preamps, good battery life, it's reliable, can't fail you, good noise reduction. And if you look at the things at that perspective, you're perfectly right. There is nothing wrong with that mic. But I don't think that mic is a vlogging mic. And for one simple reason. When I see vlogs, I see documenting your life. And the more steps I have from seeing something to actually pressing the record button, it's more of a hassle. I'm being nitpicky here, but with this Rode Video Micro, all I have to do is press two buttons. Turn on my camera and press the record button. With Rode Wireless Go, I have two more buttons. I have to turn on the camera, turn on the receiver, turn on the transmitter, press the record button. I might miss a moment. I might be, okay, maybe I don't want to record because it's too much of a hassle. I know, two buttons are not a hassle, but in some situations, at some points when you need something quickly to say, it can be a hassle. And that's why I don't use that microphone. And the other reason I don't use it is because I don't want to think about the battery all the time. Do I have enough battery left? I don't want to go to bed and to think, oh, did I put my microphone on the charger or did I not? The only two videos on this channel that have decent sound are the one I shot with Rode Wireless Go and which are shot inside, and that's the tutorial for B-roll and that's tutorial for YouTube studio lighting. So this morning I was obsessed with mics. I need a new mic. But the other reason I still didn't buy the mic is I was thinking maybe, just maybe, I'm trying to hide behind the gear. Maybe I don't have good ideas for good content for this channel. And I think if I have this mic, if I have this gear, I'd be making better content. And if that's the case, I don't really need a mic. I don't want to buy a mic. And the reason I was a YouTuber for 2 years using only this is because I didn't want to fall into that gear trap. Because when you start YouTube, you think you need the best gear, the best sound, the best everything. And then when you buy it and you can't create content because you're not used to creating content on a daily or weekly basis, you just realize, oh man, I've spent a lot of money and now I don't know how to use that gear. At this point, I've been a YouTuber for 2 years, almost 2 years, it will be in 1 month. And I've been filming with iPhones only. First iPhone 7, then iPhone 11, and now iPhone 12. And I made more than 200 videos, mainly on iPhone. It's not on this channel, it's on my other channel. And I have experience in making videos. And then I decided to upgrade to this gear. But this channel is different. It's in English. And I'm not a native English speaker. The other one is in my native language. It's in Serbian. And I feel, although I don't feel much comfortable speaking in front of the camera, I'm much more comfortable speaking Serbian than speaking something that's not my native language. So I've been thinking whole day, is this a trap? Is this a resistant trap that is telling me, look, you suck at this. You're not native English speaker, your English is horrible, and if you buy a good mic, you might add up that video production that can... At this point, I still don't know, is it my resistance trying to stop me from making daily content and discourage me? Because right now, I'm highly discouraged to make any content, and I'm recording it anyway, although I know the audio probably sucks, but I don't know. So that's part one of the story. Trying to figure out, do I really need the mic or not? Does this mic work perfectly fine or not? It doesn't. It failed on me on multiple occasions. The other problem is I can't decide which mic I want to buy. So far I have 3 favorites, 3 mics that I'd like to buy, but can't decide which one. First mic I'd like to buy, and it was on my favorites list for a long time. It is Rode NTG Video, or whatever you call it, something like that. I'll find the name, put the link here. Not affiliate, not yet. The people are trying to get out. There's my taxi, 3 minutes so far. Maybe I should talk about that in the taxi. So this is the real low light test. Number 2 is Sennheiser MKE 400. Again, silly name. And number 3 I want to buy is that Sony's thing you put on a hot shoe and you don't need a cable. That name, there is no way I could remember. Can't see myself. Foggy glasses. And all of these mics have at least one major con. But let's first talk about the pros. Pros of all these mics, that they have adjustable preamps, meaning you can adjust the volumes in the microphone, and you can put your preamps in the camera on the lowest. And because we know that the preamps in Sony cameras and cameras in general are not good, at least in these mirrorless or any other DSLRs, they are not good, so we want to keep them low. The other thing I need is noise cancellation. I shoot a lot of vlogs while I'm on the move. The traffic here is quite heavy, so I need some sort of noise cancellation. Either it's going to be canceling these lower frequencies, and the Sony mic has built in basically a noise cancellation button, and it does a great job. I've seen lot of reviews next to highways and heavy traffic in nature with a lot of nature noise. You couldn't call that noise, it's pretty pleasant, but when you want to talk you don't want to hear all these birds and waves and stuff. So all of these mics are good. And now let's talk about the downsides. The downside of the Rode microphone is that you do have a battery and it's rechargeable, and that's great. But the downside is you don't have like battery level indicator, which I think is a bummer. It's a deal breaker for me. The sound of that mic is just great. It's not as good as Sony, but sounds very good. But not knowing whether my battery is going to just die or not is a bummer. So I need to guess whether to charge it or not. And I know that these batteries have a limited number of charges before they start dying. Usually it's about 300 charges, and then their power start to decrease. And if I charge it every day, means in 1 year it will just get worse and worse, and I kind of don't want that. I want these microphones to last. I have Rode Wireless Go for 2 years, but battery is still great, and I sort of like that. And then we have Then we have the Sennheiser 400, which has that indicator of the battery. You don't exactly know how long the battery is going to last. They claim it's 100 hours. Road is 30 hours. And when your battery is less than 3 hours, there is an indicator, like a tiny LED light, which I think is very useful thing to have, that just blinks and shows you that your battery is to die in 3 hours or less. But it's not a rechargeable battery, it's a AAA battery. And I don't want to use these. I don't know why. I have a hate relationship with them ever since I had these point and shoot batteries, and I had to charge them all night and they just die on me very quickly. I know these are not going to die. 100 hours is a lot, and if I buy 4 of these AAAs and charge them and always have 2 charged, I can always switch them anytime I want, and I have the indicator, and it's great. The other plus for Sennheiser is it's just a different design, it's different built than Rode. And the plus for that is it has wind protection inside. It has built-in wind protection, and you have that muffler, that cat you can put on it, add extra protection. You have 3 levels to choose from it. It has neutral, minus 20 dB and plus 20 dB for different circumstances. You can cut down these lower frequencies if you're in heavy traffic, or you have AC on. It will cut off your bass a little bit, but not bad. And it's quite tiny, quite portable. It can fit very well on this camera, and it's a favorite right now. But I still can't decide whether or not to buy it because of these AAA batteries. I'm not sure, and there hasn't been many reviews on it. It's quite new mic. Maybe it went out a couple of months ago. Not many people used it. Sennheiser is sort of new on this market for video microphones. They released a similar mic but smaller, which doesn't have batteries, internal power. It uses the camera power, and it's similar to this one, so I don't want that one. But this has batteries, unfortunately AAAs, and I'm not sure about that. The other pro for this mic is the price. It's the cheapest of them all. Rode is somewhat more expensive. And then we have Sony, which doesn't have battery, but you just put him in a hot shoe on the camera. It uses that power from the camera, and it connects directly to that hot shoe. You don't even have to use the cable for it. One big pro for Sony: you can use it in 3 different ways. It can be directional mic, meaning it will just pick up the voice that's coming straight into it. Nothing from the sides, nothing from behind. Sennheiser can pick voice from behind, which is great if you're shooting shooting something in front of you and trying to talk into the camera. It can pick it up, which I think is great. And then we have the Sony with 3 options. It can also be half directional, meaning that it can pick up the voice in 180 degrees and quite evenly. And then the third option is you can turn that mic in omnidirectional, meaning it picks up the voice in 360 degrees, which is amazing. That's an amazing mic. The downside of the Sony, firstly, it's the price. It's by far the most expensive. You can buy in China these two Sennheisers for the price of one Sony, but what you get for that price, I think it's fine. The other downside of that mic is that you're locked in Sony system with it, meaning it can only fit in Sony cameras, and not even all Sony cameras, but the newest ones with these digital hot shoes. If you want to plug it in older cameras, you can only use this analog. Yeah, one more plus for Sony mic is that it can be digital and analog. So most mics are analog, meaning it collects the wave and the camera transfers that data into digital and burns it into SD card. That process of digitalization of the wave, analog to digital, happens in the mic, in Sony mic, and that mic is great for that reason, because you don't lose anything, because you don't get that preamp noise which you get in cameras in general, because of that transfer from digital to analog, from analog to digital. And therefore Sony so far is one of the greatest mics. But I say one downside is the price. The other one is you're locked in Sony system. You can't use it on a computer. You can't plug it in anywhere else but on the camera. Rode and Sennheiser you can plug in the phone, you can plug it in the computer, you can plug it into anything else. You can use it for podcast, you can use it for if you're running a podcast and you have that Rode Podcaster whatever thing, you can plug it there. And but the thing is, I want to buy that microphone for the camera. I doubt that I would ever use it on any other device, especially not on the phone. Maybe on the computer if I have a call or something. But for that thing I can use just any other microphone, like Wireless Go, or even this one that I'm using right now, because I'm not going to have a computer call in a noisy environment. I can perfectly fine use just this one. So I don't know, is it worth to spend almost $300? At least in China, I believe. Other places that mic is way more expensive, just to buy. Actually, it's my bad, that mic is $350. So is it worth to spend that amount of money just to get rid of the audio headaches? And I know that the most important aspect of any vlog, any video, is actually audio. Audio is like 60, 70, maybe 80% of your experience. I mean, you probably don't mind that I'm sitting here in the dark and you can barely see my face, and the brightness is changing from time to time depending if the car is coming from the other direction or not. But if you can hear me well, it's perfectly fine. But if my audio sucks, if there is a lot of noise, then you just click away. You probably clicked away way before ever reaching this point, but that doesn't matter. So the thing is, I have like 2 more weeks to think about it. Until then, I'll keep using this mic, Or I might even give a Rode Wireless Go a try, but I don't want to ruin that battery that fast. It's great for studio, and I need to have something in studio always ready. I mean, I don't even have a studio. I film everything in my kitchen, dining room, whatever. But that's something very big to think about. So this whole video is my rant about microphones, because today I was obsessed about microphones. I still haven't made the decision because I spent all my budget for this month on equipment. I'm waiting for my next salary, which I'll dedicate a certain amount of money for upgrading the gear before we moved home, because that's one of the reasons we're staying until February, and the other reason is cats. We need to deal with the cat's papers, so while we're still here and still earning some money, why not upgrade the gear, especially when everything is way more cheaper in China than in the rest of the world when it comes to gear, because mostly all of the equipment I've got was purchased in Hong Kong, which is like a tax-free country, tax paradise for the gear, and I think just it's worth it to buy it while still here. So that's about it. I'll let you know once I decide which microphone I bought, if I buy it, but I think I'll definitely buy it. It's definitely not me trying to hide behind the gear. And let's cut this rant, which is now 20 minutes long. I'll definitely need to edit this, or it will be epically long video, me trying to explain my trilemma about the microphones. So that's it. Good night.